understanding. We're on a mission from God.
There are three ways to make a living in this business. Be first, be smarter, or cheat.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Cursed be the ground, for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
All right, you dusty denizens, okay? You dusty Jermaines, you ashy blokes, and you dirty foot Jose's, which are growing in great numbers right now, I'm hearing. Anyhow, hear me here punching the clock. It's something me and Mr. Snow, the Snowman, I'm going to drop the link so he can come on up if he wants to have a chat. We're talking about, hell, almost a couple of years ago about Cailin, the Cailin clock effect that was coming, right? And I hate to say it, but you know what? Between me and him,
guys, the bottom line is this: BGS is right.
And this is to the WNBA.
What's up, boss? You believe that? You hold on. Oh no. Do you believe in that? Huh? Oh no. Yeah. Oh no. Come on. Do you believe?
The WNBA right now, because what we said was 100%, okay? I'm going to bring up Dr. Snow in a minute. Let me welcome some people first, and we'll get busy. TB, what's up? Adric, what's going on? Batting second. Turtle Bitcoin, batting third, okay? Yeah, Turtle Bitcoin, I'm not surprised gold is way up and Bitcoin is holding steady after the that Israeli thing with Qatar. You could have banked it, man. You should have actually invested more money into it after the Qatari strike, because that's going to destabilize all the money. Okay, all the money going to get destabilized. And from what I'm hearing, Qataris are kind of pissed right now. And Snowman's batting clean up. What's up? You losing? What's going on? Jermaine, what's going on? Instant media. We have to do if you're on AB Media later on, okay. I don't know. Depends on what Art does. If Art doesn't do anything, I might be on my my master teachers. We can actually talk about it, or if you're doing something, we can talk about it there. Because I mean, it's obvious. I don't know why people go back and forth. Jesse Griffin, what's going on? Lazarus, what's going on? My Waffle House King, what's going on? Carl Hudson, what's going on? Fernando, what's going on? Palm Beach Mike, Michael, what's happening? Dr. Goodbar, what's going on? Yes, it is. I mean, sports is entertainment. If you understand why professional and college sports actually started, and it was actually there for entertainment from the very beginning. It's actually the games are actually there to make money from the very beginning. In fact, I will pull it out of Quigley's book. It was Quigley's book, The Evolution of Civilizations. He actually talked about it. I will actually pull that. I think I did a video on it, but I think we'll actually pull It's actually on my it's actually on my MGTOW page. Okay, I will actually pull it out. Actually did a video on it. Mr. J Matt, what's going on? Virgo Life. I bet he was a incel. I don't even know who you're talking about, man. If we talk about Charlie Kirk and that crap yesterday, man, that's why I said it's too early. Okay, it's too freaking early. And anytime something political happens, you have to wait. Okay, you have to wait. Now, it's possible this guy could have been the trigger man, but the thing is, they have not tied him to the gun yet. And the way they found him is somebody turned him in. They didn't rush to his house and get him. His folks turned him in. Now, could he have confessed? I don't know. Now, if they said he confessed to doing a killing, I will have to say, okay, I believe it. Okay, but so far we don't know enough. Y'all have to wait. Y'all in a rush, man. I don't know why this guy is so important. Big Trick, what's going on? MS Delta, what's going on? B Quaid, what's happening? Naima, what's happening? Shannon Green, Black Males. McGinnis J, what's going on? After yesterday's conversation, I think I might be leaning Black Pill. Can you recommend any videos or books I should check out? Black Pill is a more philosophy. I would say there's an audio series on the teaching channel about what's his name? Anything Nietzsche is Black Pill. Nietzsche's Black Pill automatically. Okay, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy's name that actually did a series on it. Okay, when he talked about the discourse of Livy. Okay, and he talks about how the Prince was actually written and the Black Pill stuff that comes out of it. Okay, the Black Pill is nothing but Black Pill is based on Roman Stoicism. I.E. Legend, what's going on? Anyhow, let's go ahead and get busy. Before I bring Dr. Snow up, let me whip this out because I thought of this when I was thinking about doing the show. Right? You know how you get this inspiration before you get up, okay? And this is a Tom Cruise movie, okay? And it's something that he said that kind of reminds me of. Okay, it kind of reminds me of the WNBA and Cailin Clark, right? And I think Snowman will get a kick out of this, right? It's probably a clip he should make. Let's pause it. Keep forgetting. They always mute this. Okay. Anyhow.
Just so you understand, right now, out there on your own, your life expectancy is like here. With me, it's here. Without me, here. With me, without me. With me, without me. So,
in other words, the ratings for WNBA is basically that, right? Okay, just play Cameron Diaz doing the same thing in the same movie, right?
With me, without me. With me, without me. With you.
I thought about that because that is literally the emphasis of what's going on in the WNBA right now. Okay, with me, without me. With me, without me. Let me drop a link from my boy real quick, and he can come on up. And I'm getting ready to play his video first, and then we're gonna play another one, right? Okay, a couple others. Kind of Chaotic CK was taken out by a MAGA bro. What are you talking about? Oh, Charlie Kirk. Okay. Okay. The thing is, he's a suspect. Okay. Have they tied him to the murder yet? Okay. Because everything I saw, was that him jumping off the building, holding the bag with the gun, right? Because I didn't see him walk into the building with the gun. Okay, the things that show his face, he's got a backpack on. Where was the gun pack? And thing is, if there's a palm print on the gun that he laid out there, have they done fingerprint analysis and tied him to the gun?
That's the thing. Have they tied him to the event? And have they
And
tied him to the weapon?
have they tied him to the weapon yet? And that's the whole thing. Okay, that's how come you guys are in such a rush to say, okay, it's a MAGA guy that did it. It's a incel that did it. Okay, give them at least a week to actually tie him to the evidence. Okay, because they haven't done that yet. And the way they caught him, they didn't even catch him. They didn't catch him. His family his father turned him in. Okay. Did he confess? I don't know. Did they say he confessed? Because his parents or his folks said that said he might have, and we had 3 people that were on the grounds right there at the event that said they did it. Okay, they let them go. Let the process play out. But anyway, we get into something else. Now, hey, you look. Okay, that was yesterday. We're not talking about that shit today. Okay. If you everybody the same thing with that went on with what's his name? Okay, Carmelo Anthony in Dallas, right? Everybody acts like they were there, and you saw this shit witnessed firsthand, right? Okay, let the shit play out. Everybody acts like they're on scene, they're at the event, they saw everything go down. Y'all didn't see shit. The cops ain't said shit. Cops ain't said shit. The thing is, it was disassembled. Where was the backpack that he had when he was walking up the stairs? Supposedly walking up the stairs. Where's the backpack? Okay. All I saw was a guy with no backpack dropping down off a building. Okay. Where's the backpack? Where was the gun pack that he was supposedly have walked in with? Shit doesn't make sense. Okay. Everybody, it was assembled and disassembled. How do you know? Were you there? Everybody talking like they were. That's what it pissed me off. That's why I don't like doing that shit. You guys ask me how come I don't do stuff like that without evidence. That's exactly why. Exactly why. Okay. That's why I don't do it, okay? Because nobody knows shit. Same thing with Carmelo Anthony, right? Everybody said these white boys beating up on him. Carmelo Anthony illegally brought that knife to the school event. Had been carrying in his backpack for weeks, okay? And everybody says it was just some random shit, blah, 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 and these white boys jumped on him and he defended himself, okay? Turned out that was not the case, okay? Hey, anybody's talking about shit that's not related to what's the topic today, guess what's going to happen, okay? I'm going to start blocking you, okay? Now, I did a whole show, I did a whole 3 hours yesterday for that shit. I'm not talking about it today, okay? Unless you got evidence, you have evidence that's irrefutable. Now, if you got evidence irrefutable, we can talk about it, okay? Because I haven't heard it. If you got irrefutable evidence that this guy did the shit that he did, then I can talk to you. If you don't, shut the fuck up, all right? Okay? Just because they said they have a suspect, have they tied him to the weapon? No, they have not done it yet. I just looked at it about 30 minutes ago. They haven't tied him to the weapon yet, okay? And here you guys come. Still want to talk about it. That's why I didn't want to talk about it yesterday. You guys wonder how come I won't talk about stuff, right? Because you guys, number one, I don't know why you guys so interested in this guy. Number one. Number two, you guys don't know shit. You guys don't know shit. Hold on. I'm looking for
While you do
Snowman.
that, I'm going to go turn my tea off really quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm going to play your video and then we'll get into it. All right. Anyhow, that's exactly why I don't like doing this kind of stuff, okay? is because it gets blown wet because nobody knows anything. And
You ever notice how the WNBA brags loudest when Caitlin Clark is in the lineup and goes quiet when she's not? I'm not here to be nice. I'm here to expose the full story, the real Caitlin Clark effect, how the league hides numbers, and how jealousy, yes, jealousy, runs from the commissioner's office down through some of the players. Because make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is this close to turning a profit. But when you say this close, you have to wonder how close they really are. Hey, y'all, Snowman here, and this is Snowman's Take. Cailin Clark didn't just show up. She shifted the whole landscape, and she was doing that her last 2 years at Iowa. When she was active, viewership metrics rose very sharply. WNBA games with her were hitting record numbers across TV networks, ABC, ESPN, CBS, all benefiting.
And the
WNBA average from ABC's average over this season over 12 games was 1.43 million viewers, up 13% from last year. Her games on ABC, let's take a look at it. The opener versus the Chicago Sky, 2.7 million viewers. They played versus the Liberty, 2.2 million. Remember the foul at the end of the game? And the matchup versus the Wings, where the Fever scored 35 points in the second quarter, a record, 2.1 million. Her social media offline, off the charts. 613% got a League Pass subscription, and that's more than tripled. Average minutes watched per user at its highest levels in league history. And the social media view count up more than 380%. Her content pulls in millions of plays and massive engagement. Now we got to flip to the other side because the contrast is very stark. And these are the numbers they don't want front and center. Fever games without Caitlin Clark have seen viewership in some broadcasts drop to more than 55%. Nationally televised games without her are averaging far less comparable than games with her. The All-Star game in 2025, I don't have to tell you how fans hated that game. 2.2 million viewers. That sounds good, but it's down from 3.44 million in 2024 when Clark was playing. That's a 36% drop. 36%. And for ABC, even though Clark missed some scheduled games, the ones she did play were the highest watched this season, including her return against the New York Liberty. Though without her, games lag very significantly. Let's take a look in the local markets. I'm in Indiana. I'm close to Indianapolis. That's where the Fever are. In local markets, especially here in Indiana, home Fever games turn into the hottest ticket in town. And in many ways, it's still the hottest ticket in town. Attendance rolls, arenas sold out that they hadn't played in years. She drove fans to stadiums. Listen, Dallas moved their game to American Airlines Center. Anybody familiar with that? A couple other teams, Washington moved their games to a bigger arena in Baltimore, the old Baltimore Arena. Remember that? Of course you do. In terms of merchandise, her jersey became the top seller for a draft pick, and WNBA team stores saw huge ups in revenue in 2024, and that's largely attributed to her popularity. Let me give you another example. 2 games this year got moved from Wintrust Arena to the United Center in Chicago in anticipation of seeing Caitlin Clark play. Now, they both sold out over 19,000, but I can tell you from fans that sent me videos in the arena, there were a lot of empty seats. The social media and the digital content posts about her got massive reach, with diverse audiences tuning in. That means men, women, younger viewers in numbers that WNBA hasn't seen historically. Let me repeat that last word, historically. Now, there's one aspect of this that I don't like, and I've seen it from the players, from their play on the floor to their responses off the floor. Kennedy Carter, anyone? And that's jealousy. There's jealousy from people who worked in women's basketball for years, who built the league in a world where stars struggle for attention. There's tension coming from commentating bodies, commissioner's office, maybe some or a lot of the players, because she doesn't fit every mold they expect. Let's go to the obvious. She's white, she's straight, she's not about pushing identity politics, at least publicly, or performing activism the way some expect. Kelsey Plum, anyone?
And they try to force her
Kelsey
to
Plum
do
took
that.
a dig at Caitlin Clark because she wouldn't say anything about the players not getting what they deserve in terms of pay. That upsets some players who believe they should carry other social burdens. CC is not like that. All Caitlin Clark wants to do is get back on the floor and play ball. That's it, and that's all. When her absence reveals how dependent the league is on her presence, there's a threat. Because admitting she is carrying a large chunk of the viewership, profit narrative undermines every collective growth story. You can tell by every shot that cameras take at Caitlin Clark sitting on the bench or with her on the floor. You can see it. You can absolutely see it. Now, if people want to talk numbers, let's talk dollars, because this isn't just ego. This is business. All those viewers, that engagement equals revenue, TV deals, sponsorships, merchandise, ticket sales. Clark's presence accelerates that. The league valuation, analysts say her arrival has increased the value of the NBA to at least, ready for this number, $875 million, with the potential to exceed $1 billion. And remember, last year, they just inked a $2.2 billion broadcast deal. In 2024, the Indiana Fever saw among the highest revenue ticket merchandise gains in franchise history. Her impact is measured not just in eyeballs, but in money. But the risk is real. If she's injured or she's out for stretches for whatever reason, like a groin injury that she's had since they played the Sun in Boston, the presence weakens. Those numbers slip fast. The league just doesn't show how far they slip, because admitting the dependency is admitting vulnerability. But I got to throw some credit to Indiana Fever fans. They kept their support, even with Caitlin Clark being out, even with Sophie Cunningham being out. Ari McDonald, Sydney Colson, Chloe Bibby, all lost to season-ending injuries. They stayed with their team, though the numbers in merchandise purchases dropped. Give an example. Last year, let's take a look at the Fever and the Lynx. With Clark in that game, drew 1.57 million viewers on ESPN. That's massive in regular season WNBA terms, and it's one of the best in decades. This year, similar marquee matchups without her, or when she's absent, which was all games that happened this year against Minnesota, are drawing significantly fewer viewers. The drop-off is real. So with Caitlin games that set the ceiling, without her games so far below that ceiling, everything else lies. It's come down to this for me. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star. She's the axis the WNBA is spinning on right now. She's exposed what's always there. The league could grow, should grow, but lack the star power and identity to scale fast. That's not to say they haven't had stars in the past. Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie, Tina Thompson, Sue Bird, all Hall of Famers, by the way. It's not to say they haven't had stars in the past. They just weren't marketed correctly to exceed expectations. But now that we're living in that growth, she's made everyone see what happens when you put a face out there people actually care about. The problem? The WNBA and ESPN sometimes hide that dependency. Because if they don't, it means admitting that all the branding about we're good overall, regardless of who's on the court, is a partial lie. But for real growth, you need honesty. Show the highs with her. Show the lows without her. Let people understand the risk and the reward, because Caitlin Clark has given the league its best shot in a long time. And as it approaches its 30th year, the question is, will they acknowledge it, or will they keep pretending everything was fine without her? There's the question that needs to be answered. That's Snowman's take. What's yours?
Okay. That's pretty accurate. And we said that, a couple years ago.
We said that during her junior year.
Yes.
When she busted all of the NCAA records.
Uh-huh.
And the NCAA was too shit to move the Final Four to bigger arenas.
Yep. Basically, it comes down to this, right?
It comes down.
With me, without me. With me, without me.
That's what it comes down
You
to.
need to send me that clip, and I'll use it because I have a follow-up video coming up pretty soon
Okay.
with Caitlin Clark. It comes down basically, and Mr. J Matt said it. It comes down to this. Dear W,
Say it again. You muted yourself.
My mic turned off. It comes down to this. Dear WNBA, this is your bag with Caitlin Clark. That's you without Caitlin Clark. Any questions?
Any questions? I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's fairly obvious. Okay. We said that, and we even talked about this about her being hurt, right? We knew, especially after that, I think it was a New York game when she could barely walk. We knew that she probably was not going to come back.
And that was at Boston when they played Connecticut.
Was it Connecticut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she was in the game late. Matter of fact, she hit a 3 late to seal the game. Sophie Cunningham hit a couple free throws late, but when she had a look on her face, and we knew from that look on her face that she popped something that's going to
keep her out, and they've been going back and forth and with it. There's another video, from Black and White Sports, real quick. He's saying the same thing, right? And there's a lot of pundits that have ridden the Caitlin Clark train. Okay.
Yep.
And they do 2 or 3 videos a day on Caitlin Clark. So
and they're telling me to get off the Caitlin Clark train and worship the whole league. Bullshit. I know what I've seen.
Well, the thing is, okay. I'm sorry, but the thing is, especially in social media, you gotta ride the hot horse, right? Just like when you were betting on a track, right? Trying to find a hot horse, okay? You find a hot horse and you ride that hot horse until the hot horse cools off, right? Okay.
All the way to the finish, and Caitlin Clark ain't cooling off anytime soon.
Yeah. I'm sure Cleveland wished that Shedeur Sanders was better. So they could actually play him. Trust and believe. I know people say he's black and they don't like his attitude, and they don't like him. He's a black guy, arrogant black guy. But trust and believe, if Shedeur Sanders was better, and he could bring in fans to Cleveland,
of all places,
Cleveland. Are you kidding me? Cleveland?
This will make you laugh. I made a joke this morning on the morning show. The legacy of the city of Cleveland is Craig Elo.
and Bernie Kosar.
And Bernie Kosar. Exactly. And Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, they say Bernie Kosar was a better accountant than he was a quarterback. And I believe it too.
Find the lie.
Oh boy. But this is from Black and White Sports, and the thing is, me and Snowman have been saying for weeks, man, that the only reason that Caitlin Clark is day to day is because they need to sell tickets.
They need the eyes.
They need the eyes, and there's a possibility her playing was the only reason that they could sell tickets, right?
But we knew when she suffered the injury in July that she was done.
She was done, right?
Because and they won't mess with a groin like that.
Because all the other players that were done, they announced it like within a few days, season-ending injury, right? But they never did it for Caitlin Clark.
And they won't either if it happens again. They won't.
Yeah, well, the things that when they actually said they had to shut her down for the just before the playoffs, the very next game, right? Even though the tickets were sold, I think it was for the Washington Mystics.
Yes,
the tickets were sold, but only like less than 5,000 people actually showed up to the stadium to watch it. You can see all the empty seats. Okay,
that's why they didn't move that second game to the bigger arena in Baltimore.
To the arena, that's why they didn't move it. But the thing is, the pundits have been going back and forth. But the thing is, they're finally catching up to where we are.
It took them a while.
Yeah, well, it did. It did. Well, the thing is, they watch what's on the field. We watch what's behind it. Okay.
I noticed something this morning that came across my Twitter feed, and it was ESPN bragging about WNBA ratings for the WNBA season. Now, let me peel back the curtain for you guys. Channels like mine have analytics, right? As does things like television ratings, blah, blah, blah. We can measure the amount of people that come to our channel every day. What I can tell you for sure, and this proves all of our points, that so many guys have been talking about, Ben Daniels, CDS Podcast, all these guys. The WNBA and the Indiana Fever did not want people to know that Cailin Clark was going to be out for the season.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you.
Like you said, find the lie, right?
Absolutely. Find the lie.
Find the lie. Okay. We said that from the very beginning. Okay.
We said that right after my birthday that she was done for the year.
She's done for the year, right? And yeah, go ahead.
Physically, you don't, and you said it. You've been a coach. You've been around hoops a long time, and
Right.
as have I.
Yeah.
You don't mess with an injury like that.
The groins, no. Groins, you don't mess right. Jerry West ended his career because of a groin.
Because of a groin injury.
Yep. He wouldn't heal, so he had to quit. Yeah. So I know how bad it can be if she popped it bad. Remember we were saying that they brought they brought her back too soon before the All-Star game.
Yes.
He said they should have given her another week.
Mm-hmm.
And she popped that groin, and I think they regretted it ever since. But they always announce, it's day to day. She might show up and play for the All-Star game. She's going to be out another game. Yeah,
they had to keep her relevant. They had to keep her relevant in the news because the rest of the WNBA was celebrating that she was out.
They were until they saw the ratings,
Mm-hmm.
and they stopped. So, wait a minute, this is not good. Okay,
right? They see the ratings, and they're like, oh no, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? You fucked up. That's what.
Yeah. Wait, where's that bag again?
This is your bag with Cailin Clark. This is you as a league without Cailin Clark.
Yeah,
Any questions?
Any questions? You just dropped the bag. Can we go back and get it? It's called accountable commentary. We call it a reach back, right?
It's a reach back like a motherfucker. Okay.
Anyway,
reach
very
back
day that they decided to let that go public,
Sanders.
Yep.
Everything has dropped off a cliff. Views on this channel, the television ratings, the interest, Thanos snapped out of existence. People were trying to hang on to the possibility this whole time. Look, so many people stayed engaged with the team because they thought the cavalry was coming.
Yep.
She's coming back. We're going to have a fighting chance to win the WNBA championship.
Yep.
The Indiana Fever and the WNBA, they knew this.
They did. They knew it.
Mm-hmm. They knew it. And they were showing footage of her shooting around.
Yep.
But what people didn't catch, and I can tell you this, even though I was at work on Tuesday night when they played Minnesota, and they were showing footage of her shooting around. It was old footage.
Was it? Wow.
It was old footage.
Get the fuck out of here.
Look, I may be 53 and blind as a bat at times, but I know what I saw on a 40-inch television way far away when I was 7.
Wow. Oh, man, don't let that get out.
Don't let me say it aloud. Fuck that shit.
Oh, boy.
Brian Rucco and Rebecca Lobo were on the call that night. And I mean, look, I saw they were wearing, when they showed Cailin Clark shooting around, she was wearing the blue uniform set. They wore the black uniform.
Oh, okay. Oh, yep. Oh, yep.
Don't let that get out.
Don't let that get out. Well, in other words, this is a master class in marketing, okay?
And
bait and switch, okay? You know, I remember me and Snowman were saying before the season, right? How can they market her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clothes and what? And
Clothes and controversy.
Right? The WNBA is turned into a reality TV show for the most part, right? With the squabbles going back and forth with Angel Reese and
they're still trying to promote Angel Reese. Don't ask. Don't ask me why.
It's controversy.
It is.
It's eyeball. Eyeballs are eyeballs.
Eyeballs are eyeball. And even though we know, and we've said it since the game where Iowa smashed LSU to get to the Final Four, that Angel Reese ain't gonna be worth a lick.
Yeah, well, you know.
We said that after Angel Reese won her championship, quite honestly. That was her peak.
Yeah.
Cailin Clark's yet to reach her peak. And the one point that pisses me off that people keep bringing up, even though it is a fact. They bring up Angel Reese, they bring up a couple of others that won championships, and Caitlin Clark all throughout her career has not. But here's the point. Michael Jordan was there once upon a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
He won a championship in 1982 with the basic tool that Caitlin Clark has, a jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want Caitlin Clark to be the face of the league, period.
Well, I mean, you know, you don't have to make her the face of the league, but the thing is, okay, but do you want to make money? Because it kind of reminds me of the story that we did a few days ago with Brittany Renner, right?
Yes.
Okay. You got the bag. I mean, you stuck the landing, you got the bag, and you were pissed off. And you threw the bag away.
You stuck the landing, you got the bag, and then you fucked it up.
You fucked it up. You threw the bag away, okay? So but this is female behavior because they're talking about Aisha Curry the same way. You're mad, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Michelle Obama. So is WNBA a black woman of the sports world or what? Okay, you're pissed off because you're not the star. You're not the main character.
That's why they're pushing Nafisa Collier to win MVP.
You know what? I would love Nafisa Collier to win MVP because I like her game. But thing is, she's been hurt a lot. So.
And they're not going to give her the MVP. They're going to give it to Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson. If you win 15 straight games and get a team that was out of the playoffs in the playoffs, you might deserve it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Asia Wilson's going to win her second straight MVP anyway.
She probably should. Okay.
And what did I tell you when the Fever got their act together?
Yeah.
Even minus Caitlin Clark, what did I tell you? The most dangerous thing that can happen for the WNBA is for Indiana minus Caitlin Clark to win it all.
Yeah, probably would be. Probably would be. But yeah, but they would actually make more money and make Indiana, a prime market team.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Indiana and the Indiana fans, this whole season would have been sunk without Caitlin Clark. Okay, like you said, I think, like you said, the Indiana fans have stuck in.
Yep.
They've been faithful. Okay, I know they've been hoping that Caitlin would return, but thing is, they've been faithful.
Well, I've talked to a few people here, even in my neck of the woods here in southern Indiana, and I've talked to some people in Indianapolis. They knew. They're smart. These are basketball people. These are basketball fans. They're smart enough to know when someone is out. Tyrese Halliburton, anybody?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, after about 2 weeks, they said, okay, if she's not running with the team, she's probably not coming back with a groin injury.
And she wasn't running with the team.
She wasn't. She hasn't since. I think they showed one time where she was actually doing a couple of drills with the team. Okay, she wasn't actively practicing with the team. I said, okay, she's not coming back.
And what's that called? File footage.
Oh.
What is that? When you see news reports all the time about something old, and they're trying to tie it into current times. What's that called? File footage.
Yeah, DeAndre. I mean, I would say now I like Nafisa Collier. Okay,
me too.
Even though I would love to bang Angel Wilson. That's just me. But the thing is, Las Vegas was done early in the season. They were cooked. I mean, cooked, roasted, and filleted early in the season. And they went on a 15-game winning streak to bring themselves back and become a number 2.
They were 14-14.
Yep.
And out of the playoff picture.
Yep.
And they ran the table for the rest of the season.
And they ran the table. I mean, you got to give because she blew up. She cussed the team out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She literally cussed that team out, right? And they started playing. You got to give it to her.
16 in a row to close the season, including 103 in Los Angeles against the Sparks.
Got to give it to her.
Absolutely.
It was just numbers that you give a player the MVP on. But there's a lot of players that would have won it over another kind of player. But the thing is, in this season, of all seasons, you got to give it to her, in my opinion.
You have to.
You have to give it to her.
You have to, because they were out. They were killed.
Yeah.
Remember, during that time, they lost not one but two to Indiana.
Yes, to the Indiana, and they were getting killed in like
They
20,
were
30 points.
Indiana won on a big shot late in the game by Ari McDonald, but then there was a game about a week earlier where Indiana blew the doors off the joint.
Yeah, awesome, and then they were pissed. Okay,
Yes.
and a lot of players getting ready to quit, and she stepped on their neck. I think it was, I forget what team it was where they had blown out, and she stepped on their neck. Said, "Oh, we can't stand for this.
They
If you guys don't
lost
want
to
to play,
they
if
lost
you,
to Minnesota 111-58.
yeah." And then she stepped on the neck. Said, "If y'all don't want to play, y'all need to leave." Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they turned it around. So I have to give her credit.
Same here. And I love Asia Wilson, okay? Love the way that she plays, but the way that she lifted her team up
Yes.
from 14-14 to 30-14 and the
Yeah.
number 2 seed, and
Yes.
they'd be the number 1 seed if Minnesota didn't exist.
Yeah.
Then what can you do?
Got to give it to her. Got to give it to her. Well, let me finish playing this, okay? Because he's saying exactly what we said.
Yep.
Why do you think so many people were mad? People felt like they were going to games thinking this team would have Cailin Clark coming back to make a championship run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the perfect example, the game in Baltimore the other day with the Mystics.
Yes.
Nearly 3,000 fans decided not to show up, and they paid for the ticket.
Yes.
What does that tell you?
Well in advance.
There is so little interest in the WNBA right now that Angel Reese literally has, it looks like she's quit on her team or she's demanding a trade. Whatever it is, silent protest, who knows? Guess what? Hardly anybody actually gives a shit. This is Kathy Engelberg's worst nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It's her worst nightmare because so much of what people have said has come true about the interest of this league. It hinges on one person, whether they like it or not. This is last Sunday, folks. They keep telling me how popular, they keep telling me how damn popular Asia Wilson is. This was the game. Sunday, September 7th, 80-66, Chicago Sky. This was the game where Angel Reese was suspended for the first half.
Yep.
And then decided not to play in the second half due to back tightness, whatever we're calling it.
Whatever lie they want to tell.
Guys, that game drew less than 100,000 viewers.
Wow.
Yep.
90,000 people.
Wow.
Tuned in to a WNBA game.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that a minute. There's the Fever. The Indiana Fever versus the Mystics, the game I was talking about, with 3,000 less seats. Only 270,000 people tuned into that game.
Yep.
The Wing Sparks, Paige Beckers, 130,000 people tuned in.
And these are numbers they won't.
But yeah, we got ESPN putting this garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. They put, the WNBA season averaged 1.3 million viewers. This is on ABC and ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Up 6% year over year. Most televised WNBA game on ESPN networks in history, 2.7 million viewers. Chicago Sky at Indiana Fever. Guess what? Guess what? Cailin Clark played and had a triple-double in that game against the Sky and Angel Reese.
That was the opening game of the year.
That's why that game did a rating that big.
Remember, I did that game, and everybody
ESPN networks had 8 of the top 10 most watched WNBA games during the season. I'm sure they did.
Yeah, that's how come 41 out of the 44 WNBA games were actually nationally televised.
Yes.
Actually Indiana.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep. 41 out of the 44 were nationally televised. I did 40 of them due to work commitments, and I couldn't make 4 due to work commitments and due to an illness. But I can tell you, the fans that were tuning in, hoping Cailin Clark would come back, it would spike at the top of the broadcast.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, it would crater out.
It crater out. Yeah. Yeah, because she didn't show up. Yeah. I mean, you noticed in your numbers when she did the broadcast. When she was playing, your numbers were growing.
When the season started, I was getting between 1,000 and 3,000 people tuning in.
Wow. Okay.
Per game.
Okay.
When Cailin Clark was injured the first time, it bottomed out to less than 500.
Wow.
Then she came back, had that great game against New York where she scored 32 points in 3 quarters. And there was one other game, and I think it was the game against Connecticut where they wiped out a 21-point deficit to win, minus Caitlin Clark, and I had 4,200 people tune into that game. But if it's Indiana, they'll tune in because there's the scepter of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
There's the overhead of Caitlin Clark having a chance to come back, and this little team that could, they did make the playoffs. There's there's 2 things that drew this year for me: the little team that could, and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. I mean, you start to invest in the players because you've been watching them for so long, so you kind of hang on a little longer.
Yeah. And the numbers cratered out for the Washington game, and I was covering that along with the Colts game. But the numbers still cratered out.
Yep. This is Behind the Lines. He does.
I love this.
You like him?
I love this guy because he's like us. He's a straight shooter and takes no shit. I love this guy. I'm going to email him to see if I can get him to do an interview with me, but I love this guy.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious. He's hilarious.
Dozens of aliases are they going to use for the credits in the film? Will they use Me Bound Barbie or Double Barbie, Bayou Barbie? Who knows? Maybe they will use her full legal name. Angel clapping back at the haters. Reese. This pending huge embarrassing failure of Angel Reese on Netflix, it is not the only good news in the WNBA dump. As you guys know, over the last 2 or so months, the diva of Dump Divas Kat Engelbert, along with players in the WNBA who are desperately fighting for money they haven't earned, they have been congregating every Sunday morning at Woke United Methodist like they usually do. But instead of praying to their unrisen King George Floyd and demanding their usual prayer request, chartered flights, an increased supply of Just for Men, complimentary batteries for recently donated dildos, directions for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow so they can collect $1 million salaries. Instead of their usual request, the WNBA and its players, they have been asking Father George to heal the great white hope, Caitlin Clark. Hey, George, it's me, Kathy E. We're in deep shit. The networks are expecting big ratings for the playoffs, and there is absolutely no way these unknown players who think they are stars can deliver. I really need a miracle, Father. Can you please heal the injuries that Caitlin Clark is dealing with? Like I have been telling you guys since July, there is no way Caitlin Clark should return this season. The Indiana Felines are well on their way to being a flaming ass fire. They are barely clinging to the final spot in the playoffs. Sophie Cunningham's out for the season, which means Caitlin Clark would be on the court unprotected. She wouldn't have her bodyguard to protect her from opposing players who like to get physical. Not to mention the fact Caitlin Clark is not healthy. Hell, she hasn't been healthy all season. There is absolutely no reason for Caitlin Clark to return. But according to Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Felines, not only is she hoping that Caitlin Clark returns to the playoffs, Steph wants to see the Roo from Waterloo back on the court in the regular season. The question is why?
Exactly.
Yes.
Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Chapter. One thing most people don't realize until it's too late is Chapter is complete. They already have insurance plans. Chapter actually found them a plan to keep their current plan. Now, telling my parents to keep their like this, if you were wrongfully sued without having an advisor in your... So call today. 510-279-3616. Have Chapter find the right plan for you. Yesterday, the Indiana Felines were in Phoenix to play the Masculines. Before the game, Stephanie White was speaking to the media. Like most press scrums, the media asked icebreaker questions before getting to the questions that they really wanted answers to. In this case, questions about Caitlin Clark. They started off with your typical WNBA icebreakers. Coach, how do you stay awake on the sidelines while watching this painfully boring product? How do you remember the names of players now that your only 2 stars are injured? Once the pleasantries were out of the way, the media asked about the progress of Caitlin Clark, or the complete lack of progress. The Great White Hope hasn't even returned to practice. Hell, at this point, I don't even know if she's on the Huffy. Well, Casey, don't you mean the treadmill? The WNBA can't afford a treadmill. When players are rehabbing injuries or looking to warm up, the WNBA provides them with a used Tuffy or sometimes a Schwinn. But either way, with 10 or so days left in the regular season, Cailin Clark is nowhere near ready to return. But according to Stephanie White, we could see the Roo from Waterloo on the court soon. Watch for yourself.
You talked before the road trip about wanting to get Cailin some contact opportunities in practice. Just in the practices you've been able to have on this trip, has she been able to do contact practices or full-on practices?
No, she's just been doing mostly shooting and individual stuff, yeah.
And with only a week left in the season, do you anticipate her coming back still before the end of the regular season?
That's the hope. She's working as hard as she can to make sure that she is coming back or is capable of coming back.
Now, to be fair to Stephanie White, I understand why she is eager to get Cailin Clark back on the court. Felines are 4-6 in their last 10 games. As a coach, you're always eager to get your best player on the floor. But Stephanie White's not the only one begging Cailin Clark to return. I'm starting to wonder if the WNBA is subtly pressuring the Felines to get the only star in the league back on the court. Now, obviously,
Subtly
they're not
my
gonna call and
ass.
say, put her on the.
Well, the thing is, I think Cailin had said that even before that she wasn't coming back. And I think
she posted it.
Yeah, she posted it, and her doctors are telling her not to come back. Okay. The thing is, they should be asking the doctors and not them. Okay.
So, and I love what he said, that the WNBA is subtly telling Stephanie White to say, well, Cailin could return. I think that's Kathy's way of acknowledging that she fucked up.
Yeah, and also, who does she work for? For Indiana, right? They don't sell tickets without Cailin, so I'm sure she getting a whole bunch of pressure. Okay, I know she can't return, but guess what? Cailin, play along with us because we need to sell tickets. You need to keep engagement. You just need to keep making your money. Just sit on the sidelines and clap, and we know and pretend like you could come back. Okay,
and it was all a pretend show since July.
Since July, yeah. Yeah, we kind of hint of it, like even during the preseason.
Well, think about it. You and I talked before the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And they were saying she could play in the All-Star game. You said that if she was going to play in the All-Star game, she'd have been back.
Yes. Yeah. Nobody. Normally, she's gonna play in the All-Star game, she'd have played like 4 games before.
And when she didn't make that 4-game mark, we knew she was done.
Yeah, and then that last game where she really hurt herself before the All-Star game, I said, okay, she done. I said when I saw her limp like that, because I because her shot was off. I said I've never seen her shot that bad,
and she wasn't planting either.
And she wasn't planting. I said okay. I said either it's psychological, like her boyfriend left her, or basically she's hurt.
She was hurt.
She was hurt. Okay.
She was hurt. You and I saw it.
Yeah.
Being the gym rats we are, you and I saw it. It was the way, and you said it during that particular game when she played against Connecticut in Boston.
Right.
You said she was hurt.
Yeah.
And then I had a quick chance at halftime to take a look at her form, and she was hurting the entire game.
Yeah, because even when she going back to sideline, she was hobbling. I said, oh, she's really hurt, and that's a groin too. If it was just a knee or an ankle, something like that, hobbling is not that bad. But for a groin, okay, that means you're in a lot of pain if you're hobbling and you got a groin injury like that.
And she was hobbling.
She's hobbling. But the thing is that this is just marketing 101.
That's
marketing
it.
101. Like
the only game where she was truly healthy besides the start of the season was the one where she came back against New York and gave him 32 points in 25 minutes.
Yeah. And she had basically she had been out for like 2 or 3 games before that. Yeah. But I don't think she was injured that badly. I think that, like I said, that last game she popped something and she hasn't been back since. Yeah, she knew it. Yeah,
and she knew it.
And they refused to say it because guess what? They got to sell tickets. She's the golden goose.
They got to sell tickets and they got to get eyes in front of the television.
Yep.
They got to sell tickets and they got to get eyes in front of the television so they can inflate the numbers.
Yeah. Yep. Which is why Cleveland still has Shedeur, because Shedeur normally would have been cut. It wouldn't carry.
Shedeur would have been tossed.
He would have been tossed. I don't think. I think he needs work. I think he can be a good pro quarterback, but for that team, I don't think he works that well. Had he shown up that second game in preseason where he played, I think he probably his rating probably would have went higher. But the thing is, he didn't show up.
He didn't go through the process.
Yeah.
He didn't do what Doc Rivers said of his team. He didn't focus. He didn't sustain it. He didn't go through the process.
And but the thing he's good for the market, which is why Cleveland picked him up. And what's his name? What's his name? Down in Texas, he's going through the same thing as a quarterback. Okay. He's got the height, but thing is
Arch Manning.
Yeah. Arch Manning's going through the same thing.
And then all that hype got shut down in the first game of the year.
Ohio State. Yeah, Ohio State. Yeah,
they played the champs, and the champs shut them up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can understand that because you're playing against the best.
You're playing the defending champs.
You're playing defending champs. Okay, well, you can accept that.
You're playing the champs in their house.
Yeah. So you're okay. If you're okay in that game, you don't get completely destroyed.
Right.
Okay. It's acceptable. He bounced back. He bounced back the second game, but the thing is, he's got a lot to prove.
Yeah, and it was 14-7.
Yeah.
Come on, it was 14. It was a slobber knocker. It was 14-7.
Yeah.
But Arch himself said he's got a lot to improve on and a lot to do.
Yeah.
Arch himself said that.
Yeah, but trust and believe. I understand about race. I understand about color. But the thing is, with the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, all these teams understand is what green, except the WNBA.
The color of sports is green.
Green is green. Okay. The WNBA is finding that out the hard way. Okay.
And they're going to continue to find that out the hard way.
Yeah.
With these with these playoffs. They're really going to be fucked up if Indiana makes a deep run. I'm talking conference finals and further.
If they can, we have to see.
That's a big if because they're getting Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they'll win one of those games. I think they'll win the one in Indiana on Tuesday. But to win that series, they have to go to Atlanta and beat them.
Yeah.
And
that's
we
big
didn't,
ass.
We didn't beat Atlanta in Atlanta all year.
Yeah. And it's a big ass with being down 4 players and having the 2 players that you just picked up, which I have to say they've done a good job for what they are.
Yeah, 17 players on the injured list.
Yeah,
for Indiana throughout points of the year.
Wow.
And they picked up 6 different players, and they signed Ari McDonald, Chloe Bibby to contracts for the remainder of the year. But then they lose McDonald in Phoenix to a broken foot, and they lose Chloe Bibby to a knee injury.
Yeah.
And Chloe Bibby was starting to find her role on the team.
Well, at least White has to coach now. Okay, she wanted to coach. Now she got to coach.
Now she has to coach.
Now she got to coach. So now she can't play around and with different lineups. Now she really has to coach. Okay?
She's got to get her rotation down now.
Yeah. And now she's on her knees begging for
a miracle.
Cailin Clark to get help to get healthy.
Miracle.
Miracle. Yeah, miracle.
Not a miracle. Miracle.
No, Chloe Bibby is not anywhere close.
No, she's not related. She's not related to Mike Bibby. Chloe was born in Australia.
Yes. Yeah, Mike Bibby was born in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, no, North Carolina.
Yeah, he was born in North Carolina.
Yeah, along with his father. Henry Bibby.
Henry Bibby, number 14.
And that lefty jump shot.
And Angel Reese is a lefty. Why didn't she use that to her advantage? Oh yeah, it's Angel Reese.
Angel Reese is Angel Reese never had a good coach. You can tell.
Her only good coach was Kim Mulkey.
Yes.
Down at LSU, because Kim Mulkey got in her ass.
Yep. And it, like I said, she send her down to Elijah Wan's camp and make her stay there the whole summer. And work on her game. Or they should have hired Lisa Leslie. That's what they should have done. If they wanted her to be a good player, hire Lisa Leslie.
Lisa Leslie offered. Lisa Leslie offered.
Yeah, because Lisa Leslie believes in her, so I can make her a good player. But But the WNBA, guess what they do? They're good at doing what? Being Brittany Renner, dropping the bag.
Several hundred times.
Yeah. I might even hire Lisa Leslie as the head coach.
That should have been the next move instead of this Tyler Marsh guy.
I mean, he's okay, but thing is, what does he have to work with? But you have to get buy-in from the players. Lisa Leslie would have got buy-in from your star players. And your two best players are what? Power forwards and centers, right?
Yeah.
And who could you could help with Cardoso and Lisa Leslie and Angel Reese?
Because they're flapping around. They both are flapping around in the wind. And those are a pair of bigs that you need.
Okay, that's your team right there. Okay, that's your whole team. Without them, you don't have a team. I would hire Lisa Leslie and have them come in and just for those two players. If I'm gonna keep Angel Reese, got to bring in a coach that can actually handle her. Because she actually listens to Lisa Leslie for whatever reason, right? Well, Lisa Leslie is she's an Inglewood chick, so she Baltimore Inglewood is a local call, okay? So Lisa Leslie is a Morningside chick, and I can tell you about Morningside chicks, man. I dated a few. Can you say
the Morningside chicks your way remind me of all the South Side chicks I ran into my way in Chicago?
Remember Cartman and Cartman and tell me in the ghetto.
In the
ghetto. Anyhow, man, thanks for stopping in, man. Hey, drop your link to the show. Drop your link to the to the video. I hope you do more. I love you. I love your intros, man. Okay.
Thank you very much.
I love your intros are like ESPN worthy.
Thank you.
And if these people can make a bank on on this stuff, I actually know you can, because I think you're better than they are. But
well, I applied. I got to tell you this funny story. I applied to ESPN 3 different times. Once national and twice in Chicago. Never heard back from them. Sent them my resume, my demo, everything, because everybody in Chicago was telling me that my stuff's ESPN worthy.
It is. And well, ESPN, you gotta have some clout, okay? You gotta have some buzz, okay?
Yeah.
So one thing about social media, you can actually gain a following, and then we'll start looking at you, okay?
That's why I really got serious with this.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason I really got serious with this, because I saw so many people, dive in, and they were making how did my dad put it? And shout to my dad, and I miss him. Piss poor stuff, man. And they still make piss poor stuff.
There's a book I want you to read if you can find it. If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
All right.
It's called The Long Tail. It's written back in 2002, 2003, right? Talk about how you can actually make a whole bunch of money off a niche market.
And this is a niche market.
And Amazon and YouTube are very good at the long tail, right? How can you find your market, okay, amongst 8 billion people?
Oh, there's a market, because the market was there when I started doing Fever games last year. I didn't do the entire season. My wife encouraged me to, but then the Colts season got started, and then we were running around all over the place.
Yeah. Yep. So. Yep. But thing is, you get like what they do or suggested to you is do your standalone videos, and when you find a hot horse, okay, jump on it. Okay.
I did that. I did that first one. My wife got pushed me through it also, and she was sending me stuff to use, and now I'm going to help her with a couple of projects. And that first standalone felt so good when I got it out.
Yeah, and because I watched these cats build it the same way. Like I think Adrian Ross, who I also watch, right? Okay.
Yes.
She didn't have 10,000 followers. Okay. Now she's got 60. Okay.
Yeah.
All because she jumped on the horse of Cailin Clark.
Cailin Clark.
Yeah.
I got a follow up coming tomorrow. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna say tomorrow afternoon. Before I check out Georgia and Tennessee, so I'll be sure to drop that to you, and I'll drop that to the rest of you guys. But thanks for having me tonight, man. This was fun.
All right. Appreciate having you, man. I actually wanted. I should have done you Monday, because that's my Maker Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
When I actually highlight other people. But thing is, since you dropped this, I said, let me do this on Friday.
Yeah.
Even though they want me to talk about Charlie Kirk.
I know. AB posed before I go. AB posed the question: will they trade Angel Reese? No.
You don't think so? Even after she tried to burn down the house.
The Sky are too stupid to look at her burning down the house.
Man, I mean, she got caught.
The management in charge caught her with gas can and match. No, try that again. Gas can and a book. The old school book of matches. I'm talking about some bitch that you unfold. She got out with 2 of those and a box of matches. And they still ain't trading her ass.
They should have traded. Angel Reese is the epitome of the crazy girlfriend, right? Okay.
Bullseye.
She got caught trying to burn down your house.
Angel Reese is the epitome of a crazy ass ex, and you and I had a couple of them in our lives. Okay.
What was the name of that movie where he actually homeboy was actually going with that crazy chick, and she was caught cooking the rabbits in the house? What's in it?
It's with Michael Douglas, and I can't think of the name. The name's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
I know the name of it. She was cooking that crazy bitch was cooking the rabbits, bugging the piss out of him, leaving him voicemails that he would go up to his office to play. Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction. I think Chicago and Angel Reese have a fatal attraction. Okay.
Chicago and Angel and Camila Cardoso are a fatal attraction because pretty soon I bet you Camila Cardoso is going to have the same goddamn box.
Yeah, but basically, Camila Cardoso, I don't think they can stand each other because a couple times Angel Reese was going through a thing. She started walking back down the court. Okay, I can't handle this.
Okay? It's true. That's true. But it's like I said, they called Angel Reese with a box of matches, a book of matches, 2 gallons of gasoline. Her hair, dear God, forgive me. Her hair was covered in the gasoline, for God's sake. They still won't trade the bitch.
There's a video, if I can find a sentence by Big Jar, right, where he caught his ex-girlfriend climbing on the fence with a gas can, and he walked out the door. What you doing with the gas can?
I'm like you. I'm like you now. Me and Jody are getting into cheating stories.
Yeah.
And we're getting into cheating stories, especially me. Like when I need a little bit of motivation to keep going. And Jody saw me watching this shit, and she says, "You're still watching it?" I said, "Until this addiction comes out of me, yes." Then she watched one. But man, it's
addictive. It's really addictive
right there.
Yeah. Dysfunctional relationships. Yeah, that's Chicago Sky.
Johnny Anderson, which Chicago's pro sports team has been run worse? White Sox, Bears, or Sky? Pick one.
Oh, the Sky. Wow. Yeah.
The Sky doesn't have any direction.
Yeah.
They've got people in charge, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing. End of story.
The White Sox are not that bad.
The White Sox are getting better.
Yeah. The Cubs have been mismanaged a lot. Okay.
And this is going to be one of the years they're going to find out they're going to get mismanaged because when they get to the playoffs, they're going to get their ass kicked.
Yeah. Yeah, because the White Sox have, they've actually been in some World Series, but well before the Cubs.
But what the White Sox are doing smartly,
the
young kids are playing.
Yeah,
and they're figuring it out. Was it a parody of that Erica Mena chick who
Erica Mena chick? Yeah. That was Safari Sense. Yep.
Oh gosh. Let me get out of here.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right. Peace out, man.
Thank you.
All right, good people. That's me punching the clock. It's time for me to punch out. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. If I do an AMA, it will be on my Master Teacher's Response channel. And Charles is in the building. Me and Charles were saying this even before I did the show yesterday. Okay. 2 or 3 days for this kind of event is too soon, okay? And everybody's speculating because all the evidence wasn't in, okay? So what I said, we have to go by the evidence that they actually presented, okay? When other evidence comes in, if everybody's wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, okay? If they say that the guy did it and he's actually pinned to the murder, pinned to the weapon, I got nothing to say, okay? I got nothing to say. I listened to all the experts that I listened to said that this is a pro level hit. But my opinion, okay? So until other evidence comes out that actually deletes that, because you can get lucky, okay? I have nothing to say. That's why I didn't want to do it that soon, because there was not enough evidence not enough information. That's why I didn't want. That's why I don't like doing stuff like that on the spur. Is because you don't know anything. We still don't know anything. Investigations take time, and basically, man, they're still arguing over the stuff with Trump in Pennsylvania, right? Okay, they're still arguing about that because the guy's body got cremated. Anytime you have any kind of political event like this, man, it's going to be argued from here to kingdom come, because you never know. You never know. Unless they catch the guy with the gun in the crowd and they tackle the guy, then you know. Other than that, you don't. Anyhow, let me get out of here, folks. Shoot, what about the Bulls? Everything after Scottie Pippen had been basically okay. This is what happened. This is what happened when Michael left, right? Basically, the Bulls management basically cashed in. Okay, they got their 6 championships. They made a grip of money. Okay, and they said we're gonna cash in. That's why they traded Mike, they traded Pippen, and they gutted the team. Okay, that's why they did it. They don't care. They made their money. If the team doesn't make money from here on out, they've already made their money. That's how come they did it. It's called business. There's sports and then there's business. Okay, sports, professional sports is an entertainment business. It's about how they make money. So when Chicago traded Michael Jordan, traded Scottie Pippen, and gutted that team, they already made their money. That's why they did it. Yeah, we still have people arguing over the Lincoln assassination, okay? That's how far back it goes. But political assassinations or killings, I don't even like to comment on, because there's still things that don't make sense with that about this kid, okay? Because if they had a palm print on the gun, they had fingerprints on the gun, fingerprints on the shells, they should have been able to actually identify this kid without all the speculation. They should have been able to run his fingerprints, say, okay, he's got prints on the gun. They haven't said that. That should be the easiest thing to do. You got forensic stuff on the weapon, okay? You got a good palm print, a good hand print on the weapon. It's an easy match. How come they haven't done it? Anyhow, let me get out of here, and I will see you guys later.
And with that, I just have 2 more words to say. Obama out.
Музыка Денис Шеда.